right, team, welcome back to Fiit. My name's Alice, and today I'm going to take you through a very short tutorial about how to set up your spin bike. We're also going to have a little chit chat about your posture whilst we are on the bike and how we ride safely. Now, I appreciate there are different types of spin bikes all around the world, but I'm going to give you a very generic setup and you can have a little play when you get to your bike. So let's have a little look. First things first, your setup. We want to have your saddle roughly hip height, so in line with your hip. Now, with most bikes, we'll either have a tab underneath the saddle or, like so, you'll have a screw. Turn, lift and adjust accordingly in line with the hip. Then we want to have the nose of your saddle roughly elbow to fingertips away from your handlebars. This is just going to give you a really safe position as we're hinged over so that we're not causing too much tension in the lower back. Then when we come to your handles, we want it roughly in line with mid-rib or belly button. And if you are someone who is currently pre or postnatal, or you have recently gone through abdominal surgery, you're going to want to have those handlebars a little bit higher so you're not hinging over the torso quite so much. Amazing. Once you've set that up, you're going to come on to your saddle. Depending on whether you've got cleats, clip-ins or slide-ins, it's going to be slightly different. But for this kind of bike, we're literally just pulling those tabs nice and secure. And I recommend that you urge on the side of a little bit too secure, then loose for obvious reasons. We're going to be moving with pace and we're going to be coming out of the saddle. So we want to feel safe. Alrighty, so let's talk about your hand positions on the bike. We go from 1 to 4 around the handlebars. It's going to go like so. In the center of the bike, we have position 1. This is going to be really great for when we are just flushing out the legs, warming up the legs, or resting. Then we have position 2 at the side of the handlebars. This will be perfect if we've added quite a lot of resistance and we're driving down into the bike using that body. Then we come up to position 3. Keep in mind this will look different on different bikes and that's fine, but it'll be roughly the same. This is going to be perfect for when we come out of the saddle. As you can see, my weight's not super far back. It's just a really soft hinge over my body. We're going to use position 3 to stabilize us, but we should only have roughly 30% weight there. You should be able to raise your hands fairly easily. And then last but not least, position 4. Right at the front of the bike, we're going to use it to drop our torso into the body and power ourselves through really aggressive speed surges. Okay, so whilst we're doing so, going through the hand positions, let's just talk about your posture. When we're seated, we want to think about rolling the shoulders down and back, pressing the chest out slightly so we can get that nice neutral spine. We want to pull the rib cage in and slide it down like we're pressing it down into our jeans. Tummy is being tickled tight like someone's tickling our belly, engaging with our core. Reason being, when we're in a hinge position, your lower back is vulnerable. So we want to protect the lower back by activating the abs. And then last but not least, the drive through the foot. What are we thinking? We want to think heel and base of foot. If you were to take a screenshot of me now, what we should see is that my foot is relatively flat as we're going down because I'm powering through the base like so. Amazing. Cool. So we've got the base of the foot, we've got a nice long tailbone, we've got a really flat spine, engaged core. We know all of our handlebar positions. Lastly, coming out of that saddle. Now, we looked at it a little bit earlier. However, let's talk about your weight distribution. 70% back in the heels. The more I do that, you can see that I look a bit like a triangle or a Dorito. Bottom is at the back, just above the knees. Shoulders is above the bottom, almost like you're doing a deadlift. You should look like so. That's going to be the safest position for you riding out of the saddle, so we're not putting too much pressure on the knees. If at any point you do feel like you've got too much pressure on the knees, I just want you to add a little bit more resistance, a little bit more support, or slow down. Cool. And then, as I said before, making sure there's not too much tension in the hands. You should be able to raise your hands because we are engaging with our core. Last but not least, we will be surging or running uphill out of the saddle. When we do that, I want you to think light resistance, letting those legs run, but keeping the core really tight. Your trunk should feel like it is made out of iron. Stability in the trunk is going to cause stability in the rest of the body. Okay, what left have we got to talk about? That's pretty much it. However, we're just going to have a little sit down and talk about your monitor. Now, some of you might be training without a monitor, but for those of you who have got one, we're looking at your RPM, your revolutions per minute of the wheel going through the circulations on that bike. It is dictated by how fast we pedal. Now, we're going to be using your RPM in your Fiit workouts to monitor our effort levels. If we get rid of all of our resistance, our legs can just fly, those RPMs come up really high, we feel successful, right? Kind of right, kind of wrong. We want to add enough resistance so that we are challenging ourselves and the RPMs are correlating with what the program is dictating. They are there for a really good reason, so I recommend if we're not quite matching the RPM, play with your resistance. It's most likely we don't have it heavy enough. Amazing. Team, that is pretty much it. Please remember, if you are brand new to cycling, you're brand new to working on these bikes, please do not stress, do not worry. It is a skill. You will learn it over time. And remember, if you have any injuries or any modifications that need to be made, that's totally cool. The most important thing is that you have fun and you enjoy your workouts. Legends, I cannot wait to see you in the Fiit studio. See you soon. Bye.